Hey guys, welcome back to the Hat House. Today I'm going to address one of the most asked questions. How do I wash all my hats? Now, first I'm going to start with something that YouTube may not like. I'm going to tell you what this video is not about. It's not about how to take one hat and bring it back to life and make it a perfect, vintage, clean, spotless hat again. That's not what this is about. This and my business is about taking 100 hats. How can we get them cleaned up and make them presentable so that we can sell them on eBay? So if that's the process that you're looking for, then you found the right place. I am going to take a few minutes right now and tell you how you can get a free hat. If you want to check that out, then stay tuned. If you're ready to get right to the hat cleaning, then you can jump forward about 30 seconds and we'll dive right into this video. Hey guys, I just wanted to take a moment and let you know how you can get a free hat from the Hat House. All you need to do is like, comment, and subscribe. Then there will be my email address that you can send me an email to in the description. We'll send you one of these hats. This is one of the styles. This is another one of the styles. There's 3 more styles and colors. I'll probably show them up here on the screen right now. And then all you have to do is follow the instructions. It will be a limited time. While the email address is still in the description, I'll still be giving them away. So hurry up and we'll see you soon. All right, guys, let's start off by talking about the chemicals that I use. The first step is to use grandma's spray. I use this on every single hat that needs to be washed. Usually I'll wash the inside area by the sweatband. I'll make sure that it's really scrubbed down good because that's where the hat gets the dirtiest. And this grandma's spray works really good, not only on spots, but to get out those sweat stains and the deep soaked in sweat. The next chemical is Lysol. I use this Lysol sanitizer. It's basically a laundry detergent additive, and I put it into the same place where the fabric softener goes, and it helps sanitize the hats. The last one is the all free and clear laundry detergent. I just use it because it has no scent, and it usually is good for anybody that's like hypoallergenic. All right, the next step is going to be to sort through the hats. I sort through them. You'll see up in the left-hand corner of the video there that I have all my trucker hats lined up there. Those are the hats I'm not going to put into the washing machine because it will ruin them. Here's one of the trucker hats that I'm talking about that you don't want to wash. You can see that this is an older hat. It's actually a K Products. A lot of them will be K Products. I don't know if you can see that well on the video screen. But you can tell that it's an old vintage hat with the patch, and you can just tell by the bill that it may not stand up to a wash. So these older hats that have the foam in them, I have a separate way that I'm going to do them. I'm still going to show you that at the end of this video. I'll go through this process as well after I get done washing the regular hats, kind of like this one that I have on. All right, now I'm ready to start scrubbing my hats. I start going through the hats. If I find one that looks brand new, I'm not going to wash it. I'm going to set it to the side. What I usually do with that hat is I'll take it and I'll just clean it out with a Lysol or Clorox wipe, and I'll go through and wipe it down just to make sure that it's clean, there's nothing on the hat, and that it's sanitized that way. The rest of the hats, I really get in there and I start scrubbing. I scrub the inside like I said, where the headband is and where most of the sweat collects in the front of the hat right there. I'll scrub it down really good, and then I'll take that hat and I'll throw it into a tub. The only thing I sort beyond this point is I will put all the white hats in one tub by itself, and then the other hats will all go together in its own tub. All right, now we're ready to take our tubs and we're going to dump them into the washing machine. One real important part of my washing machine, which is why I like it and the reason that I bought it, was it doesn't have an agitator. Washing machines without an agitator are a lot easier on fabrics, and that's why I use this Samsung washing machine. Now, most hat cleaning videos will tell you to take a big tub and fill it full of water and then put some OxyClean in it and then soak your hat in there. and that works great. My washing machine basically does the same thing as far as soaking and does a little light washing on the settings that I use. I basically use the quick wash setting. I put it on very low spin. I don't want it sitting there spinning for a long time so it can mess up the bills and squish the hats too much. So I use these settings to just make sure I just fill it up with water. I get a good quick wash on the hats, and I don't want them to sit in there too long. You want to take them out immediately after they're done, and then I'll show you the next step. All right, the last step on washing the hats is to dry them. Now, Mary usually always helps me out with this process, and I really appreciate it. We basically take them immediately out of the washing machine, dump them back in the tub, bring them back over to my workbench right here. I use these bowls. They're from Walmart. They were like 50-cent Walmart bowls. They're almost the perfect size 7 head size, so they work really good. I put them inside the hats. They help them dry out faster, and also helps you kind of pop out the dents and kind of shape the hat the way that you would like it to be. I'm always straightening and flattening out the bills on the hats that are designed to be that way, and get them back to flat, and then I turn my fan on and we'll get them dry. Alright guys, now let's look at the vintage foam trucker hat process and how we get those cleaned out. The hats. On this hat, we're looking at a trucker hat, a vintage trucker hat that's had the foam on the inside is deteriorated. So if this hat had perfect foam and it was a beautiful brand new trucker hat, it would probably go for $40 to $50. In this condition with all the foam, it's like a $5 hat. If we can get it cleaned up, get all the foam out of there, it turns into a $20 to $30 hat, potentially. And a lot of it depends on whether somebody is looking for this patch or how many of these patches are out there. But still, it makes it worth the time on most trucker hats to go ahead and go through and clean them out. My first step is always, we're going to just vacuum it out with the shop vac. And then after the shop vac, we will get it wet. We'll kind of scrub the inside, whatever's left, try to get it off. The main thing is we don't want to get the bill very wet. A lot of these trucker hats have cardboard bills in them, and if you get them too wet, they'll get wavy and they just won't ever hold their shape. They won't have a good shape anymore. So that's the basic steps that I take. Vacuum it out, then kind of brush it out with water or some soap if needed, and then I'll let them dry. Air dry with a fan. Alright, so here I'm just trying to get as much of the loose particles as I can out of this hat. The more I can get out in this vacuuming process, the less wet I will have to get the hat, and so I'll be able to keep the hat in a lot better condition the more that I can get out by just vacuuming it. Okay, at the sink, I'll usually just kind of turn the hat inside out a little bit so I can kind of see what I'm working with here. And this is at this point, I'll get it a little wet. I'll use my scrub brush. I'll scrub it down, just trying to keep the bill from getting too wet. You just don't want it to get soaked. It may get a little water on it, but we'll just get it a little wet. And then scrub as much of the rest of the foam off as you can. And as you can see, I almost got all the foam off the rest of this hat without getting it too wet. Just need to work down in here. And then after this, I'll take the hat back out. I'll set it back upright. Get the hat back into shape a little bit, and then we'll air dry it. Okay, so we got them all completed. We went through the process. We vacuumed them all out. Then we washed them out. And then we set them out here to dry. I used my fan, my big fan. It air dried everything. I always air dry all the hats with the fan. And the only other thing that I really do is I have these bowls like I got from Walmart. They help keep the shape a little bit. It's not perfect, but when you're doing a bunch of hats, it's not Some people use towels and they'll roll them up in there, or you'll find a basketball or a mini basketball or something like that. I just use these bowls. It keeps a decent shape and helps them air dry out faster. So here's like the inside of this one. It came pretty clean. Last step, you may just lint roll it in there a little bit. May help get the rest of it out. But some of them, like this one, you may have to do the process one more time. You can still see there's quite a bit of. This one was completely full of foam, so we might have to do this process one more time. Another good vacuum will probably get the rest of this one out. But the rest of these are good to go. So we've cleaned them all out, and we're ready to list them now on eBay after we get them lint rolled. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I did have a few more points that I wanted to give you. If you made it this far, I need you to subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I want to keep building this community of hat lovers, hat sellers, and eBay sellers. We kind of cover it all on this channel. And I did want to point out, this whole process took about 3 hours. So I had 100 hats. If you've seen my unboxing videos, I get about 100 hats in, and then I got to get all those cleaned and ready to be listed on eBay. It was about 4 to 5 totes or loads full that I washed, and then got them out and then dried them. And then the trucker hats took me about 30 minutes to get them all vacuumed out and washed out. And then the drying does take a little bit longer. I'm not including that in the total time. It takes maybe 3 or 4 hours for all the hats to dry. And so when you put them up, that there's nothing damp or wet, because you want to make sure that they're completely dry before you put them up. The fan really helps that process and speeds that along, and it's why I always use it, because it gets them dry the fastest. You never want to put them into a dryer. I don't recommend that at all. That can really tear up a hat, so I would not ever put hats into the dryer. So thanks for hanging out, guys. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions beyond what I've covered, feel free to ask them. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. Like I said, this is a process for hundreds of hats and to get them done efficiently. It's not for your favorite vintage hat, how to restore it back to perfect condition. But this is a good process for regular baseball caps and to get those truckers cleaned up so you can start making money on eBay. We'll see you again soon, guys.